Hello everyone and welcome to RNG University. On tonight's episode, we're gonna try the Ultimate Lotus. So on tonight's episode of Friday Night Explorer, that is. And the Ultimate Lotus deck is the Lotus Field with the Emergent Ultimatum combo. The idea is that when we cast Emergent Ultimatum, we can choose 3 spells, a monocolor spell that is, and our opponent has to give us 2. So we can choose Omniscience, Chandra, and Lier. Well, what are our opponent gonna do? Give us Omniscience? No. So we get free Chandra, free Lier, and then we can recast Emergent Ultimatum if we want, get that double effect, or just get a search ability that gets us the Omniscience that we want, and then win from there. So that's kind of the idea of this deck. Now, the way to get that out, of course, is to have the Lotus Field. And to get the Lotus Field, to add 3 mana that is, then to get the Lotus Fields, to stop it from making us sacrifice lands, we have Strict Proctor and we have Discontinuity. Strict Proctor turns off a spell and turns off ETB abilities, and Discontinuity ends our turn. That's the idea of the deck. And then, of course, let's talk about the whole deck list. We have 4 Strict Proctor let's talk about a combo, shall we? 4 Strict Proctor, 4 Discontinuity, to make sure that as the Lotus Field enter the battlefield, we either end our turn or stifle that ability so that it doesn't kill us. And then we have 1 Fae of Wishes to get cards from our sideboard, 3 Impulse, 4 Sylvan Scrying to always get the Lotus Field into our hand. We have 4 Vizier of Tumbling Sand to search our to untap a permanent, untapping a Lotus Field. So when we cycle her, we also get to untap a permanent, but that's 2 mana to cycle. So we tap Lotus Field, cycle, untap Lotus Field. Now we have an extra free mana, and we draw a card. Bala Ged Recovery to get a card back from our graveyard, any card, and then we can double that with Chandra so that we get infinite cycles from our graveyard. Archdruid Charm to also get Lotus Field into play. 1 Lier to recycle our graveyard. 4 Pore over the pages. This card is insane, right? 5 mana, draw 3 cards, untap 2 lands, then discard a card. Well, discard a card is fine, but the untap 2 lands untaps 2 Lotus Field, which nets us 1 mana. Chandra, double spells. Emergent Ultimatum is the heart of the deck. Omniscience give us free plays. And then the rest are just lands. So we got 1 Otawara, 3 Boseiju to kill our opponent's enchantments and artifacts, 1 Forest, 3 Razorverge Thicket, 4 Spara's Headquarter. It's more of a Bant deck, right? The Emergent Ultimatum, so really only black card in the deck. 4 Lotus Field, 4 Mana Confluence, 4 Lotus Field, and 3 Thespian Stage as part of the combo. Now, along with that, we have our sideboard, 1 Cyclonic Rift to return everything and to back to our opponent's hand if we need to. We got a lot of mana in the deck. That's the idea. 1 Farewell, 1 Thought Distortion in case our opponent's a control deck and we need to get rid of all cards in their hand somehow. 1 Approach, which is our win con. 1 Seagate Restoration to draw a lot of cards. 1 Peer into the Abyss to draw even more cards if we need to, and also lose half our life apparently. And then 1 more Emergent Ultimatum in case we want to search that out. I think I forgot 1 card, and that's a black card that's Search. And it's a black sorcery, I believe, that searches. But I don't actually have it, so that's why it's not there. And I do recommend running this, the Mastermind Acquisition. This is a very good card. Search your library for a card and put it into your hand. Right, so I actually want to run 1 of these. And let me talk about the reason why that is. We want to have 1 Mastermind Acquisition because if, for example, we want to Emergent Ultimatum and we choose Omniscience, Chandra, and Mastermind, they gotta give us 2 cards. We can take Chandra and Mastermind, so it doesn't matter if we don't get Omniscience, we can search it out and just cast it anyways. That's at least the idea of the deck. I don't know how well this can do. I'm actually gonna cut an Impulse for this. Still in craft. I think I can cut an Impulse for this. I'm not sure. I don't know where it goes best because this is kind of a mix between the blue-white Lotus Field that I see played a lot, and then the old Emergent Lotus Field, Emergent Ultimatum Lotus Field that was very common that people stopped playing as soon as Strict Proctor they found out that Strict Proctor combos very well with Lotus Field. Well, now that we have Archdruid Charm as the new card in the inclusion, we can actually search out Lotus Field a lot better, I think, But Explorer is very fast, so we'll probably just lose all the games. Let's find out, right? I like to play these kind of decks that are a little bit janky, but definitely has their place in just playing Magic. Because if I just want to win every game, I'll just play some aggro aggro deck, and then hope that, you know, the Arena Shuffler helps me out instead of me trying to be good at the game. Can Sion. Hello, Can Sion. Alright, we got our Scrying, so we'll keep. Do we keep? I don't know what they have, but I'm kind of scared. Alright, let's land the Smara headquarters first. This Mana Confluence will always deal damage to us, so gotta be a little bit careful. Alright, let's get all our Lotus Field. Alright, I guess we have to sack these to play the Lotus Field. Do we get another field out? Actually, let's get blue out. We'll play the Lotus Field, sack these 2 lands, and then we'll cycle. Untap our Lotus Field. There's our ultimatum. I can search for a land and put it into play, but that's an instant. I don't need to do that this turn, right? Do I want to search for... Yeah, I will search for a land. We'll end turn. So I will search for a Thespian Stage, put it into play, so that I get an extra mana. Unless they counter it. Blue-white control. That's annoying. Change the equation. Alright, so we will Thespian Stage. And copy. So this adds 3, this copies it, and then we really can't play anything else. Now we have a lot of mana. Lier will be good, but I need them to tap out first, right? So let's just play another Thespian Stage. Makes them sad. Gives me a lot of mana. This is a counterspell, honestly. Oh, jeez. Okay, not good. Gotta be careful because they can Demolition Field my Thespian Stage if they want to. I gotta do it in response. Do I land a Strict Proctor for no reason? That would just use up my mana, right? I don't want that to happen, so... None of these are instant. Well, this is an instant, so I can kind of wait it out a little bit more. If they want to target my Thespian Stage. Alright, I got double discontinuity. That's interesting. So, let's go with Sylvan Scrying first. Rewind. I don't want to end their turn, but they tapped this, so that's wrong. Let's tap a blue. Yep. GG. Interesting rewind there. Nice arena. Come on, our opponent quit. At least let me... I can't even do anything. That's a arena crash. So our game is so good, arena crashed. I can't even do anything now. Alright, let me pause recording. We'll come back to this. Alright, hi everyone. We're back and we won that game, but then Arena decided they can't handle our special power. So they just died. It just gave up. So let's come back to not giving up and see what happens. Let's hope that this is better. Oh boy. Man, go. Go, man, go. Alright, we don't get to go first, but we did get a Strict Proctor and a Scrying, so let's try it out. Yeah? Hello. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm very scared. So, another blue deck. Come on. Oh. Alright, so in Arena, basically every time I play a combo deck, I'm going to face some sort of counterspell deck, like a slower combo deck. But if I play a faster deck, I will just die to control. Or if I have a slightly faster combo deck, I will just die to the stupid... Okay, I don't need to Boseiju. I'm talking and playing at the same time. Bad idea. What I'm saying is, they're always control or some sort of counterspell deck when I have a slow combo. When I have a fast combo, it's aggro. And, you know, Arena hates me. Supreme Phantom. Dumb Phantom. Alright, I'm ready to get all of my spells countered. You're gonna play spells, right? Alright, well, last time it was the server crash. This time, I don't know if it's just rope or maybe... Oh, no, it's just rope. Rope shows up because they're Jace. Hello, Mango. Man, go. I look at their hand. They stop looking at their hand. They look at their hand. They stop. Wedding announcement. Love it. Just after I Boseiju. Alright, well, let's Sylvan Scry. They can't counter this. This is a sorcery. Alright, if they have counter spells, I'm gonna eat it. But if they don't have counter spells, I might be able to do something. 2 Mutavolts. This is definitely a spirit deck, but I don't get the wedding announcement. Invasion of Gobakon. Well, you want to pay? I think you forgot about that. You want to pay, right? You definitely want to pay. Come on. Pay up. 3 mana confluence. That's just terrible. Terrible. I mean, there's no reason not to pay. Because all he had left over was Mutavolts. He didn't even tap correctly. So he pays, and he gets to look at my hand. He'll probably take the Sylvan Scrying. No, Pore over pages. Also wrong, but okay. He draws a card instead of... What's going on with this guy? I guess we just scry again? I don't know, because I already have the Lotus Field out. Scrying again doesn't really help. This is 3, 4, 5. I can't pull over the pages. It was a good play, apparently. So, I am gonna no. Let's see. I'll add 3 whites. And 1 green. For another Sylvan Scry. We'll get another Lotus Field, so we can put it into play. I can just decline. Why would I pay for this? Come on. Alright. So my one card draw, I might not be able to play it because he'll have counter spells by that point. That's a 3/3. I don't want the Gobakon to flip, and I don't need 2 Strict Proctors. I don't need any Strict Proctors, honestly. Alright, he has counter spells now. Pore over the pages will just hurt me. Alright, counter unless I pay. I'm still gonna play the Mana Confluence. Pretty sure it's gonna get countered. I have 2 to pay, but it doesn't really matter how badly our opponent plays. If we draw all lands, it won't help, right? Look at all the lands we drew. Literally none of these cards are non-lands. The only non-land we draw are things to fetch lands. No more lies. I'm gonna leave. Ridiculous. Our opponent plays so slowly, I don't want to wait this out, and every single card I drew were lands, except 2 Strict Proctor. I got Sylvan Scrying, which should give me more lands, I guess. You just, you know, play a combo deck that costs a lot, and your opponent will always have counter spells. Play a combo deck that tries to combo off on turn 5-ish or 5-6-ish. Your opponent will be aggro, very aggressive, and kills you before you get to do that. That's how I feel about playing Arena. That is, we're gonna Impulse. Alright, so there's some form of a combo deck against them. Enchantments. Interesting. Alright. Well, we're not ending our turn this fast, but Skrelv. Skrelv and Generous Visitor. I am very confused as to what this deck does. It's just enchantments. Well, we probably die very fast because of enchantments. So let's hope we can get a field. None of these are fields, so I guess I have to Bala Ged? No. Scry for a field, but if I scry for a field, I won't actually be able to play it. Right? Razorverge Thicket can help me get a field from an Archdruid. How good would that be? I guess I can scry for a field anyways. Yeah, this feels bad. This feels real bad because I'm just gonna have to kill my own lands. Oh, none of the decks really help. None of the draws really help me out there. Audacity is gonna be huge. I need to survive 2 turns, right? After if I can survive 2, no, guess not. If I can survive 2 turns, the discontinuity can maybe give me more turns. But I think I'm just gonna die next turn, so I have to discontinuity him on his turn, which I don't have the mana for. Yeah, I don't have the mana for this. I can Archdruid Charm for another land, and then I just die. Yeah, it's freaking ridiculous fast deck. Like I said, if I had my Strict Proctor, or if I were able to Impulse into a Lotus Field, I would win. I couldn't, so I lost. Fun. We won that first game, and then Arena decided to shut down our client, reset our luck counter for the shuffler, and give us the worst luck possible. Fun stuff that Arena does to us. And now we're playing against Luis Romero. I mean, is it Luis and Romero? Opponent goes first. All right, we get a Lotus Field into a can't play turn. That's awesome. This hand will be very good if we can get a white mana. Otherwise, it's terrible. Right? I won't be able to play anything, so I can't keep that hand. Alright, this hand is better. We keep 6. Put this back. We're not going first, and they have a ring, so they definitely are paid to win. Is it Malia? Okay, no, it's that big thing deck. The big thing deck. Let's just throw out the Confluence. Do I want a Sylvan Scry or do I want an Impulse? What can Scry get me? Scry gives me a land, right? What can Impulse? Impulse would probably give me better cards than a land. Oh, by the way, they're also blue. So they might have counter spells. The Lier. Yeah. I mean, it's either they have a counter spell to disrupt my whole combo, or what does this do? At the end step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, return up. Am I playing a draft deck? I get another Lotus Field. I could just play my Strict Proctor, right? Strict Proctor is slightly better, but I do want to have 2 Lotus Fields. I still think Strict Proctor is just better overall. I get my discontinuity. It's gonna take a few more turns for me to stabilize. 3-1 and 1-1. He wants this to die, and this does 3 damage. So you do you. Oh wow, that's a lot of damage coming up next turn. I can discontinuity him for a few turns, but I don't know if this will help, right? I need to get cards. I'll play a land. Should not have played a land. So now I'm settled on the discontinuity plan. Because otherwise I would just die. I'll take 1. Oh, I take 2 because it's a 2-mana confluence. Double Strict Proctor, so I guess I can survive a little bit longer with that. I want to add white. We'll get out another Lotus Field. In. Block here. Block the Malcolm so he doesn't draw. I go down to 1, but if he can deal 1 damage, he can deal 2 damage, right? I don't think any of that matters. Okay, so we get a turn. Let's get blue, 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 blue. Pour over the pages. Draw 3 card, untap 2 lands, discard the Confluence. I will never be able to play it. We'll add black, I guess. Is there green mana? There are green mana spells I can play. So, cycle. Untap this. What does this do? Discard a card. Okay, so I can play a land. I'm gonna play tapped. I can use this mana that I have saved up to return, pour over the pages. Blue, blue, blue. Blue, blue, blue. Pour over the pages again. Draw 3. Untap 2 lands. So, do I have enough? Oh, I gotta discard a card first. Strict Proctor, probably? No. The, yeah, probably the Strict Proctor. So I'll have 7 mana. 7 mana is not enough to do anything, and I can't use the Confluence. So I have to end turn here. We're gonna attack him for 1. Honestly, I don't think it matters. Just do it. Go for the 1 attack. He has a stick. I don't know what that stick is. I want him to discard a card first. Then I'll just continue him. My turn again. Solitaire. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This costs 10. Right? So I can't solitaire him right now. Let's impulse. All these are dead cards. Spar Headquarter it is, I guess. What can we get from our sideboard that matters? Emergent? I can Emergent. Now I gotta keep that open again. It doesn't have flying. I feel like he has sticks somewhere. Is it just this? Sacrifice and draw a card? Okay. So let's see if he wants to sack. First we discard. Then we'll end the turn. And then they quit. Alright, good game. Took us long enough, but we got there. We got there. Next turn we can Omniscience and then Fae to do whatever card we want. To get whatever card we want. We get the Ultimatum, and then we can then play whatever card we want. So yeah, that would have been game if they stick it out, but they didn't want to stick it out. So that sounded wrong. That's the whole deck. Ultimatum. So you saw how the Ultimatum works, and it works well enough compared to other Ultimatum decks that I've seen. It also works okay compared to the blue-white version. I feel like the blue-white version is a lot more control-y, and this version is a lot more combo. So if you like combo, this is better. This gets a combo a lot faster, and we definitely get the Lotus Field whenever we need it, in more cases than not, because we have 8 fetch. 8 fetch cards for land. So we'll get it. We'll get it. The problem is how fast our opponent is, and how lucky we are in those kind of scenario, right? So against that Skrelv game, I really think there's nothing I could have done other than impulse into a Lotus Field. If I had able to get the Lotus Field, I would be able to play it that turn, right? I would be able to play it that turn so that they will still attack me. I'll still be at 6. But on that turn when I was at 6, I would have 2 Lotus Field open because I could have copied it with Thespian Stage, or just have 3 other lands open, I think. That would have worked enough, right? I have 3 lands and 1 Lotus Field. That's total of 6 mana. I can stall and stall with Discontinuity, every turn getting bigger and bigger mana pool, and then eventually blow them out with the combo that you saw in the last game. So yeah, this deck is, I really like this deck. I don't think it's very, very strong, like you know, a mono red aggro would be, but this deck is very fun to play in Arena. It's very fun to play because you don't have to go through all that shuffling. This deck is not going to be fun to play on paper because of all the cycle, all that shuffling. You're just going to be playing Solitaire all the time. Even on Arena, we're playing Solitaire a lot. So I do think this is a very, in my opinion, it's an awesome deck, but you do have to be a little bit careful with the way you play. That's all I have for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.